let's get started. So our next speaker is a consulting engineer for Aruba Networks, co-author of the recently published CWT study guide, and has been working with CWNP to develop strategy for grassroots international growth. Let's welcome to the stage, Fehmi Sakkal.
I guess not everyone is inside, so I'll just get started since it's amazing that we're streaming this, we're recording this, and we can watch it later, and we can watch it live, and it's just amazing this year. As Joel said, I've been working with Aruba for the past 7 years out of Abu Dhabi, and I work as a consulting engineer. I'm CWNE number 247. So I'm lucky enough that everyone in the room understands what the CWNE is, but usually, and I'd like to think I came a long way during my career with Aruba, like over 7 years, where at the beginning of my career, we used to go, like as a pre-sales engineer, you go with the account manager, and for the vendors in the room, they definitely know this. For the system integrators, for the customers, you've seen this happen in your offices. So the account manager is like, okay, Fehmi, we need to talk today about network access control solutions, or our cloud access points, controllerless access points. So yeah, I'm like, boom, here's my laptop. Hello, Mr. Customer, I'm going to talk to you about 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is what you need to buy. Let's design your bill of material. Now, I came some way where today I don't take out my laptop, and I learn more from so many people, from the CWNP, from those events, like how to pay attention to user requirements, how to pay attention to users' fears and their concerns, the risks in their deployments, to be able to come up with the best design and what's best for them. And that's when I stopped pulling out my laptop and I started pulling out my notebook, my copybook, so to take down my notes and to ask them about what's going on and how we can help them based on our portfolio and my experience and my colleagues' experience and expertise in their specific requirements. And I've worked with all sorts of verticals, be it hospitality, healthcare, education, oil and gas, but there's always this one new customer that has a different requirement or that could be from a different vertical. And this is where people ask me, like, how do you establish your presence? How do you earn your trust? And when my presence and my experience and expertise does not do the job good enough, I just pull out my laptop and show them this. So, yeah, thanks. So this is what I have on the lid of my laptop, and it's just for them to summarize what I'm capable of. And I would believe like being certified as a CWNE is an authentication of my experience/expertise. But the problem is that back in Abu Dhabi or Dubai or Oman or Kuwait or wherever I am, like during like one day of the week, they tell me, yeah, we get that you're an Aruba certified mobility expert, like you have an ACDX, you have an ACCX or whatever. But what are the rest of these? And this is what kills me. Like, this is what makes me wonder. Like, I started out working on my CWNE since 2011, and I only earned it in 2017, and it was all self-study. The Aruba certifications, like Aruba sent me for one boot camp, the next day I had the certification. That was it. And for me, the CWNE is way more valuable than any vendor certification, especially when you're sitting with any customer and you want to earn his trust and his confidence that you will do a good job no matter what underlying vendor or technology you are working with. So that's why I'm here on stage today. And this is just to talk about a blueprint or more like a scratch pad to set together ideas about how we can increase or how we can grow the brand and the market worth of ourselves. So we're here, we're paying money, someone is paying money on our behalf to come here. At least we're studying, we're paying attention to the presentations, we're going to the boot camps, we're sitting for the exams. Now, we want our market worth back. And this is amazing in the US, Canada, or the Americas, but it doesn't really reflect very well at the rest of the world. And when I'm talking about growth today, I'm talking global growth. So it's not only the rest of the world or the US, it's both US and the rest of the world. So I'll use a consulting approach where we have to discover what's going on, what's the status quo, to define where we want to be or what we want, and then to come up with a plan to execute. So, and hopefully with the support of CWNP, and I've been working really closely with them to really try and apply those little changes as fast as possible so we can do it as sort of a lean startup method. Where we can just learn, test, measure, and then repeat the cycle according to what we have defined with KPIs and measures for success and what our target or end state is. Now, here are some numbers just to define the status and just to give you some insight. And I think these numbers are so cool. Thanks to the CWNP team to provide me with, for providing me with the numbers. So here's a pie chart of the active CWNP members for the past 2 years on the CWNP website. And as you can see, the majority is from the US, but we have a very nice distribution with other regions in the world. And the interesting thing is that if you dig deeper into those sectors, you can get into a list of 78 countries, like a list of 78 different countries from where the CWNP current members are accessing the website from. Now, let's go further. So I sign up as a CWNP member. I want to get certified. Like my end target is to become a CWSE or a CWNE, so I have to go through the phases. And CWNA would usually used to come at the first stage. So the active CWNAs for the last 3 years, and the last 3 years because if it's more than that, then you're not a CWNA anymore, are distributed in the following chart. Again, it's a bit of a parallel structure to the CWNP members. Majority being in the US and Canada, and the next coming from Europe and the other regions. Now, we're still at 74 countries over here, but if we want to compare CWNAs to CWNEs, this is where there's a drastic change in this trend. You would realize that 70% only belong, not only, 70% of the CWNEs belong to the US and Canada, whereas the rest, 30% are spread among the other regions in the world. And for CWNTs, which are restricted to only 21 countries, so we went all the way down from 78 to 21 countries, or 34 countries where you have CWNEs, and 21 countries where we have certified wireless network trainers around the world, with the majority being around the US. So again, this is just stating out the facts that brand growth and market awareness is good in the US and Canada, slightly lagging in Europe, but way worse in the other parts of the world. Now, D&D, so Dungeons and Dragons, everyone? Okay, that's not it, I'm sorry. We want to define and we want to discover and define. So in defining the current status, you can skew it any way you want. You can look at it from any perspective. I just want to look at the market awareness for the brand lagging. So we can talk about lagging behind the awareness of vendors, like the brand of vendors is way more popular, of course. Other professional communities are more popular. You can talk about the market worth for certifications, which is not representative. So we've had a lot of studies and surveys. Keith has come up with a few over the years. I remember one from 2016 or 17. Again, it reflects the US very properly, but does not reflect the rest of the world. So the objective here is to increase awareness and market worth. And this is through the proper tools, solution channels, and maybe, just maybe, with the CWNP blessing, updated role definitions and requirements. But then we also have to ensure that this plan goes on track, and there's a way to track it and ensure it gains traction and continuity. So, like everything in the world, what's in it for me, right? And if we were to go in an exercise of defining the stakeholders in this growth plan for this CWNP grassroots, blueprint, growth plan, call it whatever you want, this is where we had to identify the 4 Rs, like what are the roles, what are the responsibilities, what are the returns, and what are the relationships between the stakeholders in CWNP. So we have many stakeholders, out of which I can talk about vendors, ALCs, professionals, CWNTs, CWNP itself as an organization, because it's a business after all, and most importantly, the members. Everyone wants something out of it. Like, CWNP wants growth, the members want growth, we're in alignment, that's great. So why not do it? And members definitely want to be paid more, members definitely want to find better jobs, members definitely want a return on investment that they did in their CWNAs, and their CWXPs, and their CWNEs and CWSEs. So this is what we want. And like everything in this world, what do we want? We want this. And when do we want it? Well, you know, why aren't we getting it already, right? So here are a few ideas that, thanks to Tom Carpenter, I sourced a few ideas from Martin Erickson and Peter McKinsey, Raymond Hendricks, Ayman Muqaddam. So we're having a few calls just to generate a few ideas that might support this growth. And we've jotted down a few categories of those ideas, but what matters most is sourcing those ideas from the presence over here today, from everyone present today in Wi-Fi Trek, as well as the whole CWNP members and community. And this is where we're coming to in the next slide. So one of the categories is events. So this is where a plan to tap into more events in order to increase brand awareness, be it vendor events like the Cisco Lives, the Aruba Atmospheres, and other vendor events, other professional community events, exhibitions, and maybe other third-party events. Like, I know those RCCDs that get certified from the Big C organization. They're now talking about IoT and what happens after fiber to the home, and how do I get my set-top box working, and the bandwidth I require with all of my IoT and wireless devices around the house, and how I design for it. So this is a very great opportunity for professionals to be there. And this is one change that already Tom has done in the process. Now, today, if you go to sign up on CWNP.com as a new CWNP member, you get an extra tick box that asks you if you want to participate in events to represent the CWNP. So if you are ticking that box, CWNP can reach out to you and say, well, hey, Jack, Cisco Live is going on in Tokyo today. You are working there for Cisco, or you are present over there in the region. Do you mind participating over there? We can send you all the collateral. We can help you out with the material. You can come up with your own material, and boom, there you go. So you're participating now, you're representing CWNP, and you're earning continuing education credits, especially if you want to work on your Certified Wireless Network Expert credential. CWNP Local. So we could be tapping into CWNP Local for participating in the events. And this is also something that Tom announced yesterday. And when it's up and running, you can go onto cwnp.com/local to find the nearest group, or to find a group near you. And the idea is that today you don't have to wait for Wi-Fi Trek to happen so that you can meet up with people who could be traveling from the same company or from the same country or region that you work out of. And if you're like me and you hate Twitter, or you happen to be so... Okay, great. I not only hate Twitter, I just live in a different time zone. So I cannot retweet or answer when Sam or Tom or Keith or anyone posts something. And my joke is just, I don't know, it doesn't happen. I don't have the time to be there on time. So just because I'm like 11 to 8 hours ahead of you guys when I think of the time zone. So this is a chance for people to meet up together, whether physically or, I don't know, virtually, weekly, daily, monthly, quarterly. It's up to the group, because we're following a lean startup approach with every CWNP local group. We can set a framework. We don't have to push everything globally, but it's up to every group that could be led by a CWXP or more to maintain the rules of engagement on how they want to meet up and what they want to talk about and how they want to do it. And it would definitely have the structure and the incentives with stuff we all get, swag, where CWNP will help with that. And it will be one channel that we can, if you're certified and you want your PIN or you want to get ready for something with CWNP, then you can use that channel to get that material or leverage the experience of your colleagues in that group locally without the awkwardness of having to wake up at 3 a.m. in the morning to just participate in the roundtable QA session on Twitter, right? So, other ideas for CWNE. So Sean introduced this yesterday. He made it public yesterday with the streamlined process on cwne.com/apply, where it takes down the time for CWNE accreditation to go from months to days. But we can also suggest some enhancements, like increasing the networking. Again, how do I make people, I'm not forcing them, but how do I make people establish links and ties with other professionals, with other CWNEs? One of the 3 endorsements for the CWNE application could be asked to be from a CWNE member, right? And ever since I became a CWNE, 3 people from Europe itself reached out to me for an endorsement. It was amazing. And I try to do my best, like, can you tell me more about yourself? If you want, you can send me a CV. We can get online and have a chat, so we can just, I want to understand who I'm endorsing, and so on. So this is nice to get non-CWNEs to establish links with CWNEs either in their CWNE local group, in the region, or globally. And we have, there used to be a section, I'm not sure if anyone goes there anymore, on the CWNP website called Spotlight on CWNEs. Has anyone of you got a form over there? Okay. Did you like how long the application was, just to fill out the... Okay, yeah, I can tell by the smile. So there's a suggestion that CWNP will put in with the CWNE application, where once you finish submitting the CWNE application, you'll be able to just get into the Spotlight on CWNE. And this is where you can fill it on the fly, publish it, and then CWNP will publish it on the social media platforms, mentioning you, mentioning your company if you want, and giving you more publicity on your achievement. With colleges and universities, this is where we want to do inception, so increase our base. And again, what's in it for us? There's something for everyone. So the students will be getting vendor-neutral material. Vendors will be working or will be getting ready to work with people or graduates or trainees who are freshly out of the box with vendor-neutral knowledge, and that they're sure that they are good enough to work with any product. Trainers and ACLs will be getting ready to take those CWTs, CWSs, and maybe CWNAs, and training them on the professional level certificates. And we'll have more certifications for CWNP. So we have something for everyone. And imagine being a professor for one of those universities or a teacher for one of those colleges, getting material that's ready with the syllabus, with the presentations, with even the test material, and you have the whole course, the semester covered. So this is one channel we could be leveraging. Again, for market worth, it wouldn't work. Like if HR managers abroad do not understand what the certifications mean, cannot align it with the job descriptions and job titles, then we're never gonna get there unless we follow a very slow curve or a slow trend. So CWNP will help in setting job descriptions and aligning those with job titles and the certifications that are required to be there from CWNP, so that HR departments can resort to those. They can use these as reference, and it could just make their job easier. Like Tom was telling me, an HR manager was crying to find those somewhere. If we have those on the website or anywhere on the platforms, it could be amazing. And this is where we can get the HR departments and hiring agencies or headhunters to do job opportunity postings. And by the way, this is something that everyone can do today. So if you want or know that someone is hiring a wireless or Wi-Fi professional, you can go onto LinkedIn, onto CWNP's page over there, and you can post that job offering and opportunity. So you can give something back to your community, and more importantly, guarantee that you're getting someone from CWNP who knows what they're doing. Webinar delivery. This is another channel where, okay, you want to become a CWNE, you need a publication. So how about you make your own presentation or your video? Why not make a webinar? So in the monthly blast that CWNP would be sending out, they will be mentioning the topic for the next month. And you could be participating to prepare the material along with CWNP and present it in your time zone. So instead of just covering one time zone where maybe, let's say if it's congruent, 70% of the audience will attend, we want to get the other 25 or 30%, which is in EMEA and APAC. And this is where we can hold 2 sessions of the same webinar across 2 different time zones. What else? No, the clicker. Okay. So we have the media channels, and this is where we're looking to crowdsource the content, but more properly, member source the content, because we don't want public content that's not coming, that's coming maybe from untrusted areas or people. And this is where we're looking to member source content for the media channels. So we're looking with CWNP, like we're looking at a platform where all of us could be the OCs, the original content creators, and all of us could take this content, and we can be the OPs for this content on our own platform in our own context. So Jason writes his own article about CBRS. He posts it on the platform. CWNP authorize it. Fehmi logs in and he sees that Jason came up with this nice article and it has this graphic. I can share it on my LinkedIn page. Someone else can tweet about it and change the title. So this kind of platform where we can all create the content all together instead of just sending it out left and right, and reuse the content instead of just retweeting. So retweeting is great, but we can reuse it in our own context this way. And according to the rules of engagement of different platforms. So nowadays, I cannot just write 140 characters and push it on Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn at the same time. Content on LinkedIn should be different than content on Twitter, should be different than the way content is formatted on and presented on Facebook. So it has a different approach, it has a different target audience. I don't know, maybe Instagram would be there one day if we're taking pictures of sexy antennas and access points. And at least I can think of it for BadFi, like Instagram is there, like it could be a wonderful application. So, and we are also looking to the members to source the best publications, whether physical or virtual, like online publications, that they're familiar with in their regions, locally or with their community. And this is where CWNP can create a repository where, okay, you want to publish an article, you want to see it in a magazine, send it to CWNP and they will take care of it. You want to see it on a specific website, you can do that. You can use CWNP's repository of those publications in order to do that. Now, I've talked a lot about sourcing this from members and crowdsourcing. So how can we do that? I'm going to talk about this next. But one more channel to do that is CWNP TV. So CWNP TV, which amazingly has 12,000 subscribers. This is amazing. We can leverage that. Now, instead of seeing Tom Carpenter every week on that channel and video, why not see ourselves? And I don't want to replace Tom. I'm not sure if Tom is here. I don't want to like kick him off his channel. Yeah, but I'm saying Tom is asking if we can get more people onto it, and we can get the members and subscribers to see more faces. So again, with the monthly blast, there will be topics that are defined for 3 out of 4 weeks to come, which you can send your pre-recorded session, like a 10 talk or a 5 talk, whatever talk you want to call it, so like up to 10 minutes. CWNP will take a look at it, Tom will take a look at it, and he will insert it into his episode, and he will give you credit for it. So that's an amazing channel where you can reach out to already 12,000 established subscribers if you want to talk about something that's related to the theme or topic that's shared. So how do we source all of this? I want you to go to this link because CWNP, this is the first announcement that they asked me to say, is offering a free pass for the next Trek, so Trek 2020. for one of those people who fill the survey. I've helped build the survey, and this is a survey because what matters most is you. Like, it's us, the members. What matters most is our own opinion. So those ideas we've set over the course of a few meetings we've had online, but we want more from your side, more ideas for growth, more ideas for market worth. We want your input on participating in CWNP local starting now. Like, are you willing to participate? Are you willing to head on those groups in your areas? If you want to give us the names of publications, you can do that. If you have any ideas of universities or colleges you're affiliated with and who are looking for those basic certification programs that CWNP can help with the material and help with the testing, I, for one, know one from my home country back in Lebanon, one professor who works with, I took sensor networks courses, a sensors network course with him. So he keeps telling me, like, and my colleague Ayman, like, can we get something from CWNP to teach the basics of RF and wireless and Wi-Fi to those students? I don't want something customized by a specific vendor or by a specific author. I want something that's vendor neutral and known in the market. So if you know of any college or university, you can go onto this survey as well and suggest it with the contacts. That would be great. And if you manage to reach the end of the survey, which is very short, by the way, it will take only 3 minutes, and enter your personal information, you would be entered in the draw to get this track, I won't say, so it's track 2020 pass. So this is in brief what I came up with as ideas and through the discussions, but I don't want to leave it here. So as I said, we need a way to track those changes. We need to track those ideas for growth. We need to incorporate your input. So some of the ideas CWNP has already started working on. We're going to wait for your input from the survey so that we can incorporate the changes, and hopefully, again, following a lean startup method where we're gonna take the small changes, apply them, see what happens. If they work, we keep applying them in other areas. And we're gonna have a follow-up webinar. Tom and I are gonna have a follow-up webinar probably next week, or maybe after we publish the survey another time for the public. It won't have a track pass because that's only one pass for the attendees of Wi-Fi track this year and people watching online, the live stream. So for the public, there will be another link that will be shared on the social media so that we can get more input from them. And then we will announce them in the next webinar to just follow up and summarize the inputs and probably come up with a structure or just basic rules for CWNP local groups. So that's it. That's the end of my presentation. I just wanted to thank CWNP, Ashley, Hemant, Tom, Mark, Sean, everyone who I've been bugging recently just to try and get some changes and see what can be done and what can't be done. So there's like another 30 slides that I didn't talk about here because I was instructed not to, because I would be crossing some lines. But then again, I'll be chasing this down, and I promise you I'll be updating you and Tom in the webinar to come, so please stay posted. Thank you.